What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 22 of the Great Western Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Marc the Wizard Maserlian. And today we are joined by Coach Theory, ex-Laker fan, Jay, and David Chu. How are you boys doing today?
Doing good.
Fantastic.
Sorry I was out last week. It was the birth of my firstborn child, so I gave myself a pass on that.
A
Uh,
new Laker fan.
it's a new Laker fan. You better be a
Welcome to
Laker
Lakers
fan.
Nation.
I I thought about it, like I was like I was at the gym the other day and I was doing some squats and I was like, what if he's a Clippers fan? I thought it to myself. Like I
I know
started
what to get him.
drawing.
I know what to get him now.
Yeah.
The,
No, I'm
the
gonna throw it away
probability
if you
is
buy him a
very low.
Clippers. Yeah, if you buy him a Clippers onesie, I'm gonna throw it away. But boys, we have a lot of stuff going on the last couple weeks. A lot of things are going down in the NBA. All right, so I took the liberty of creating a little guide for us here. Okay,
Oh,
so
nice.
just in case, just in case we get a little sidetracked because there's so many amazing things that we can talk about. Okay, so here we have our little logo, right?
Nice.
So this is going to be from the last couple weeks of the NBA, what's going on. And here are some of the topics that we're going to go with. So we're just going to get started with the first topic, and is the Nico Harrison firing, okay? Along with the Mavs woes. I think it was earlier this week on Tuesday that Nico Harrison was fired, right?
Yeah. By the
So
way, Mark, did you name baby Nico after because you found out you were going to be a dad right around when Luka got traded, right?
I definitely did not. I definitely did not. Okay. There's a whole other story about that, but this is a basketball podcast. Okay, please leave my family out of this. Thank you. Just kidding. Okay.
I
So
mean, we're just trying to welcome it in, you
yeah,
know.
I
Wait,
got
we
you. I
should
got
we should compare, Mark. We should compare the date of the trade to the date of conception.
you.
That's what I was trying to get at.
What do you
We'll
guys
say that
think?
for another podcast.
Yeah, please. All right. So guys, Nico Harrison firing. Was it inevitable? Is it unfair? What's the take? Like, who's got who? There's a million things we could say about this. Who wants to go first? Who's into it?
I think Silvan should have the first crack at it, being the one that said that he thought that the Mavs won the trade.
Hey, can you say that? Can you say that again, Jay? Just for our listeners out there.
Well, I think what was said was
I think what was said was
Go
what?
on
just to
record.
quote,
Let's hear it.
AD and Kyrie is a great fit. AD has been having an MVP season. They need a big. I think it's a win now move for the Mavs, and I consider they've upgraded tremendously. Followed by I think Mavs are coming out of the West.
Yes. All right.
All right.
So let me take that's different than saying the Mavs won the trade. Okay. When you say a team won a trade, that means there's a winner and a loser, right? I look at it as a win-win. Why I thought that? If you look at the Mavs back then, you had Luka, who had only played 20 games that season, right? He was out
Current
of shape.
Laker. Current Laker.
Uh-huh. He was out of shape.
Yeah.
Even Jason Kidd had issues with Luka's conditioning, right?
Jason Kidd should be fired too, honestly.
I like
Along with
Jason Kidd. I
Nico.
think he's a great coach. Um, and you're put in a position where you're having trouble with your superstar. You don't think he's going to come around. Okay. You need a big. You have a deep squad. And there is a big available, not only a big available, but one of the greatest bigs in the league. Okay. Who was having a terrific season, who had played pretty much the entire season, and who was in incredible shape, putting up, let's see, before the trade, Anthony Davis was putting up 26 points and 12 rebounds. And that guy plays on both ends of the floor. Okay. If you look at your team with Kyrie on it and you pair that AD, you've got a solid team with Gafford, with Lively, with all those characters on your team. You've got a really good squad. I can understand why they made that trade. They didn't make the trade thinking, oh, AD's going to come and get injured. Oh, Kyrie's going to go down. Okay. Fast forward, those things did happen.
Okay.
Obviously,
Okay. All right.
obviously, Dallas Nation is incredibly upset. They fired Nico Harrison for business reasons and not basketball reasons. The Mavericks, their image took a huge hit, so they had to fire him. They had to.
Right. He was the orchestrator of this basically
If you
hated
want to win
trade.
back
No
your
one
fan
wanted
base,
in Dallas wanted him gone, Luka gone. Only people that wanted him gone were Jason Kidd and
also
Nico
another thing to
Harrison.
look at, when you trade away a superstar, your ROI is nothing. Like, you get role players and picks. So here you have a superstar swap, okay, and you're landing a two-way player and a big that your team needs. Okay. So on paper, the trade makes a lot of sense.
All right.
I thought
Yeah.
they were going to upgrade and get better, but that is not going to be seen because they never even shared the floor together. Right.
Fair enough.
Hindsight is always 2020. And of course, Nico Harrison's going to get the blame. They're moving on from AD and Nico Harrison for business reasons.
Okay, Jay Chu, who's got the rebuttal on here? Are you guys buying this? That even then it was a good time, Jay.
Yeah, I'm on. I don't think if at any point trading Luka would have been on the table for probably every other. How many teams are there? 42?
28.
38 teams? Well,
28.
I don't think anybody would have ever traded Luka, especially in the position that he was in at the end of last season, taking him to the finals. Yeah, he comes in out of shape, but so did Shaq.
And guess what? Shaq was out.
Okay.
Shaq got traded.
Had he have stayed another couple of years, they probably would have won a couple more. But the best of Luka, I think, is yet to be seen, and I think right now he's on a vengeance tour. But I really, in regards to the Nico Harrison firing, because that's what we're talking about, I really liked Luka's professionalism when he was asked about the firing, where he said, "I'm just focused on the Lakers." I think inside he's probably like, "Yeah, that's what you deserve for trading me," but he kept it really professional, and I appreciate that. And I think he's just a scapegoat. I think the ownership has to sign off. Ownership
Yeah,
has
it had to happen. It had to
I mean,
happen.
they're 3-10, They're 3-10. Jason Kidd is playing Cooper Flag at point guard. He had 0 assists last night as a starting point guard. I don't know, man. I'm kind of with Jay on this. Like, yeah, maybe on paper, fine, but you had Chu over here thinking the NBA is rigged because of this move, right? Like, it's not. It's kind of hard to defend it. I think the move, right? AD is older. Luka's a superstar, his prime of his career. Okay, you're gonna say that, oh, he was out of shape, and this was a move that was for basketball. As time goes on, and the more I'm seeing what the Mavs are doing, and with Jason Kidd especially, and like how like it's coming out more and more that like Kidd wanted this too. It wasn't like Nico's thing, and I agree with what Jay is saying. It was an organizational level. It seems like where they wanted him out for some reason, and they did it.
So, quick question before we get to Chew, if I can interject. If you have to move on from a superstar, okay, granted, I don't like the way they did it,
You don't have to move on from Luka.
but we're saying that there was pressure
especially-
from Jason Kidd, et cetera, et cetera. If you're planning to move on from Luka, okay, would you not agree that what they got in return is great, considering the talent and how that fits on the team?
Sure, that's fine, but I'm not talking about it from the perspective of you have to move on from him. It's like, why did they move on from him?
No, I get you.
Yeah, that's my point.
They had their internal reasons.
Yeah.
Some of them we do know, others we'll never know.
Yeah.
Chew,
All right.
step in.
Okay, so this is the worst trade in NBA history.
There you go.
This is what?
This is the worst trade in the history of the NBA.
Yeah, hindsight, yes.
Okay, no, not hindsight. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
The fact, okay, this is the number one problem with the trade. It's one thing if you decide that he's not going to be like, okay, he takes you to the finals the year before, and somehow you determine that this guy is not a championship winning player. Okay, if that is true,
Right.
why would you not open it up to create a bidding war between the teams? That is the biggest fault of this trade. No
tell you
other
why.
team knew he was available. He
Right.
went straight back to his friend, who's the
Rob.
Bronco looking guy in the Lakers?
Rob Pelinka.
Rob
Rob
Pelinka.
Pelinka. Yeah, so he went
Mastermind.
straight to Palinka. Palinka somehow swindled him, genius, that guy, into not opening up the market so he can get other offers so they can start competing against each other. I cannot believe they didn't get Austin Reeves at least. You know, like how is Austin Reeves not
Or
included in
how
that?
many picks did they get? They got, like
I think they got one pick.
All right, let me interject right
Like,
here.
I don't think you could. Yeah, okay. There's
And then they get
You're
the
talking
first
about
pick.
you're
And then they get
talking.
the first pick.
there's 30 teams in the NBA, by the way. FYI.
okay,
Let's set
so let
aside.
me just
Okay, go
I have
for it.
a
Yeah.
few more notes. Okay, this
Yeah.
guy Nico also is the idiot that rewrote the Kevin Durant pitch deck for Nike that drove Steph
Yeah,
Curry
yeah.
away from Nike into Under
That has
Armour.
nothing. You're bringing in other stuff right now.
No,
Okay.
it just shows this
Great.
guy is a complete moron. He's not a logical thinker. He's lazy. He's easy. I don't know how this guy got a job as a
All
GM.
right. Well, you're gonna have to
Okay,
go into the personal. You don't have to go too deep into that. I think from a GM
well,
perspective, his moves are quite questionable, and you can say he had a vision, but it's clear that that vision led to ruin more than it did to
So
thing. Yes.
so let's answer Chu's question.
Yes.
Uh, which is a good one. And I'm not saying one's the right way to do it or not. Why didn't he make it public and open up the league? Because about the trade, right? Why didn't he go shopping? Okay. When you do that, you're risking a lot. First of all, if you have a private dealing that you like and you're getting back AD, you're not getting back nothing. Sure,
but
AD
that
is
trade
injury
is still going
prone.
to be on the table. That trade is still going to be on the table.
Yes
Why
and
not go
no.
see what else is
You
out there?
never know. You never know. You can't say that it's going to be for sure on the table.
So are you trying to
Okay.
say like, oh, like maybe he?
So opening up to the league, you're creating potential damage to the value of Luka Doncic, and because you've seen disgruntled stars or disgruntled teams with their superstars. Sure, the bidding can be high, but if no deal gets done, the bidding starts lowering and
Yeah, but
lowering
they
and
get
lowering.
moved anyway, dude. They get moved. That happened with
So
KD.
hold on,
They
Let
get
me finish. Let me
yeah.
finish. Look at every superstar trade. It's very rarely superstar for superstar. I'm repeating from earlier. You always get back role players and picks. They got a superstar that fits their team. On paper, that's a good move. On paper, it ain't.
This this
How is
goes
that
to
not a good move?
listen,
You have a
listen.
superstar that you don't
This is
want.
a capitalism. This is a supply and demand. You want to
All
increase
right.
demand with the number of people that you're opening it up
But
to.
you already
That's
have
going to
what you
drive the
want.
price higher. It's supply and demand. If you're only selling to one team versus 29 teams, the demand's going to lower, the price is going to go down. This is just
That's
economics,
not
dude.
how basketball works,
All
bro.
right, guys. So we're look. We
The
gotta
amount of times
we
a
gotta move on
superstar
from
has
this.
the amount of times a superstar has stayed on the trade market and his value gone down over time, that's
Okay.
happened
All,
so many times.
all I can say
I,
is thank God they got blessed with Cooper Flag. I mean, they
I,
literally won the lottery, and thank God, because if they didn't have Cooper
no,
Flag right now, it would be a dark place in Dallas.
I would say thank Adam Silver, but
Yes.
That was a point
Adam
oh four
Silver
ten. All
made that
right.
happen.
So guy, I mean, look, that was so I think it seems like we're 3-1 on this. What do you guys think out there? Who's right about is the
Yeah,
Nico Harrison?
comment.
Yeah. Jay, let's what final comment before we wrap this up? Let's move on to the next segment, guys. Next
Yeah, let's
segment.
put on. Yeah,
Go
next
for it.
segment.
Oh, you said you
Oh
want
no, I'm ready to move on to the next
okay.
segment. Just to all the viewers out there, leave a comment. Let us know what you think.
Oh, got it. Okay. Next segment. You guys remember what it was? I do. Okay. Spurs and Warriors games. Last night there was an epic Spurs Warrior matchup. They actually played twice this week, correct? Um,
Yes.
they played twice this week. It's, kind of the old guard of Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler up against the hot young Spurs, trailblazing as it were, and through the NBA. It was an Emirates Cup game. There's a lot of action there. What are we thinking about this game? What's going on with this rivalry? We had Draymond and Wemby getting each other's face. There's a
Let me
lot
pull
of,
up the
lot of action
stats.
here. What's
Pull up
that?
the stats. Pull up the
Yeah, I got
stats.
you. I'm gonna pull it up right now. This is the game from last night. Uh,
Let's let Silvan kick it off here.
I
okay.
love that game.
Okay,
It's
so
what
yeah,
I love about that game is first of all, there are two teams that I really like. There are two players in Wemby and Steph that represents two generations. Um, I think Steph's impact on the game and his greatness is sometimes understated. And watching him like this just refreshes my memory of how incredible he is. That shot that he made in the Olympics over Wemby will forever live in my
Right.
heart because it represents so much culturally, but also growing up watching the game. Two of my all-time favorite, or one of my all-time favorite player versus the next generation of basketball. And seeing him hit that shot over him again in a Warriors and Spurs jersey, I want those posters on my wall. Of course, I'm a Wemby fan to the max, but I will always respect the Warriors. I love Draymond Green as a great defender. I love the intensity. I love that, it made it to the highlights, but that bucket that he dunked on him didn't even count. But that's an example of something that his impact is beyond just stats. Here you have a defender trying to get under his skin, and he's not backing down. Terrific game. I think the Spurs are still the better team, but it's really difficult. Any team is gonna have difficulty, beating the Warriors when Steph is gonna drop 12 points at the end of 3 minutes. In the last 3 minutes, he dropped 12 points.
Right.
Deep bombs from all over the place. And I was telling my brother we were watching the game, and I almost didn't put money on it, but I was like, this is gonna be real difficult to win if Steph starts lighting it up. And I'm glad he did. I'm happy he did, even though I lost my bet.
I mean, look at this line: 16 for 20, 16 for 26, 9 for 17 from three-point land, 8 for 8 from the line. It was a vintage Steph game, honestly.
Love it.
Uh,
Absolutely.
Chu, Jay, thoughts on the game, reflections, comments on what Sylvain here, ex-Laker fan coach theory is saying.
So my thoughts on the game last night, I guess I have a question more so for you guys. If you're starting a team, do you want a player like Draymond on it? My take is absolutely 100%. I think Draymond is the heart of that Warriors team, and I think he drives that energy, and I think Steph feeds off that energy. And whether he's getting the best of a matchup or not, I think the reason they didn't go to Wembanyama on that last play is because of the way that Draymond was getting underneath him. Like you can even see it in that little clip right there.
Right.
He's still getting underneath him, and so you kind of want to go to maybe a matchup where you feel more comfortable with De'Aaron Fox on like someone like Buddy Hield or something like that. But yeah, I think it's a classic matchup, and I think Steph Curry really revels in it. Going back to what Sylvan said from that Olympics, I think him hitting that shot over Wemby, it's kind of like created this like David and Goliath battle that I think Steph really he really brings out the best in him, and he really gets going. Like you can see that confidence that he gets. But the Spurs are up. The Spurs are up. They're ready. They're taking it to them, and it's really fun to watch.
Did you see after Steph Curry hit a layup over
Wemby,
Wemby, he went like this,
yeah.
like
I
the
saw that. I
vacuum
saw
inflatable
that.
tomb arm? I love
It's
that.
a
It's
great
great.
matchup. It's a
Yeah.
great matchup.
Chu, what do you think about this? What's your reflections on Spurs Warriors, Wemby versus Curry, just this game last night, and where these teams are in their history? You could Draymond also.
Yeah, I think my only comment on this is that the league is in trouble because Wemby is amazing, and this team is not the Spurs right now are not optimized. They're not they have a lot of moves left to make,
Right,
and they're going to be better. So I think the Warriors better enjoy taking a few wins because I imagine over the next
right.
10 years they're not going to be beating the Spurs that much.
Yeah, I do think on that point we had this conversation last night as well. You know, the emergence of Castle as this, really we knew he was good, rookie of the year. What he's doing right now, as Sylvain has pointed out last night on our text thread, that do they even need Fox? Is he part of the long-term future of this team? You shaking your head like, well, they brought him in because they wanted to capitalize and kind of build this core around Wemby and add a veteran point guard that can help them take to the next level. They're gonna need to figure it out. I agree. I was like, oh, they put the ball in Fox's hand last night with the game on the line. Yeah, they could have drawn up something else. You know what I mean? But it almost went in.
Yeah.
It rimmed in and out. That ball goes in. It galvanizes the team. They need De'Aaron Fox this year to be good and to lead this team. And it's also an opportunity for him too. He's not that old, right? He didn't really do much with the Kings. They got bounced out of the playoffs a few times with some solid teams, honestly, over there with Sabonis. But
He
what
did have some clutch shots in the playoffs, though,
he
too.
did. He's a good
He
player.
hit
De'Aaron
some
Fox
big
is a
time
solid
threes.
player. So my
Yeah.
question is how is this team gonna gel? How are they gonna obviously with the loss of Dylan Harper for now, we're gonna see. But I mean Fox 10 for 22, 10 assists, decent numbers. So uh
Harrison Barnes is also like such a nice bet for them. Aside from last night, he was shooting, I think, over 50% from the three.
he's like
He's
their yeah, he's like their Draymond Green almost.
and I really like Keldon Johnson's defense. I think he's a phenomenal player. That guy's when I seen him in person, he's built and he can push people around. So they're a really good team.
Cool.
So this year they need Fox, especially with Harper out.
Yeah.
I don't know how long Harper's going to be out for.
Well, those are good numbers by Fox.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a great player. By no means. So I understand why they made the trade. To win now, to remain competitive in the West, you need Fox. They also he got Clutch of the Year award or something like that. So I don't mind Fox having the ball in that situation. The shot didn't go in, but I will take that shot. Hopefully in the years to come, either Harper or Vassell or Castle becomes Mr. Clutch for this team.
Well,
What's that?
Wemby is clutch.
Yeah, I mean, he still makes mistakes. He still can get stripped.
He
Whether
steps
I
into the
want,
three nicely.
yeah, whether I want in the final possession Wemby to take the shot, I don't know yet. He hasn't been in that situation too many times, so he'll probably have to miss a few. And I want to win right now.
Yeah, well,
Selfishly,
that's
you
the
know.
that's the main thing I noticed from last night too. Is like you look at this team. This is a Warriors team with Curry and Butler who have been there before. Deep playoff runs, the championship pedigree for Curry, obviously, and the Spurs are good, but they're still an upstart team. They need this experience. They got to take their punches. They got to lose these games before they win these games.
Exactly.
You guys didn't give me your takes on are you taking Draymond on your team?
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yes,
yeah,
of course.
Absolutely.
yes.
100%.
I think
Give
Draymond,
Draymond his flowers.
yeah, you got it as a player.
100%. That's why I loved him trying to get under Wemby's skin and Wemby not backing down. That was gorgeous.
He's a basketball genius. Draymond
Yeah.
Green is a basketball genius.
And in his
Right.
prime, obviously in his prime, he was such like a cerebral player with the assists, the defense, the mind games. Like I think it's you got to give him the credit. You would definitely, I mean, I don't know if I would take him over anyone else, but I would definitely, I would. He tends to be a player that's overlooked, I think, in his contributions to the Warriors dynasty, as they say.
So let me go back to Chu real quick. Chu, you said they're not done making moves, and I somewhat agree with you.
Yeah.
Let's ask the whole group, because I have my opinions, but I've been vocal about it. What do you think the Spurs need to do to take it to that next level and win the championship, aside from just experience of playing together? Do they need to change their roster?
I think
To
they
win a
need a big
championship this year, yeah.
No,
They're
no,
too
not this
guarded.
year. Just, I mean, if you have in mind for this year, I don't even, I didn't to have them top 3 in the West is great.
I think having
Well,
having a stick.
I
Go
think they
ahead.
just need to choose between the three guards. It's either Fox, Castle, and Harper, and they need to whatever one they don't go with, they have to turn that into a four, probably.
So would you switch? Would you then put Fox on the trading block and go after Markkinen?
I would, but that's not enough to get Markkinen.
Well,
Fox,
Fox, so can maybe Barnes and some picks.
but Utah has a lot of point guards over there. They got Keontae
That's the
Jordan,
problem too,
Jay
is when you
Collier.
really think about
They don't
what
need a
team
point
actually
guard.
needs a point guard. That's the problem.
Right,
Point
right.
guards are,
So
you can't trade Jaw, you can't trade Trey, all these
I
like
think
above average point guards you can't trade.
I think the thing is you have to move Fox because he's eating up 45 mil a year. And you got to make way for Harper to develop. We have 3 incredible guards.
Yeah.
One of them is most likely going to be an all-star, if not this year, very soon. Harper has all-star potential.
I think having a stretch 4
Yeah.
would benefit them a
That's why
lot.
Markkinen is incredible. But
I
how
mean,
do you get
Markin
him?
on this team would be. I don't think it'll happen, but I don't think
How tall is Markkinen?
he's like what
He's
6'10",
like 7 feet.
footer almost.
Oh, okay.
If the
Because if you
Spurs
can put it,
if the Spurs somehow get Markkinen without giving up too much, that to me is a chip team potentially this year.
Lakers might
Yeah.
get Markkinen.
I would love it.
Yeah.
He's 7'1". He's a 7-footer actually. I tell you 6. I don't know if 7'1" seems a
Oh,
little
wow.
tall for him, but
And he can shoot the 3, right?
he's a huge. Yeah, he's a big 3-point threat. But he's locked up. I mean, those contracts match up. I think Markkanen is like locked up for like 4 years, like 40, 50 mil each year. So
Same with Fox, but yeah, Utah
they
doesn't
won't
need a
do
point
that.
guard.
I
If they
know.
did,
I
it'd be a
agree.
win-win.
You know how like a couple years ago Jokic was saying like, oh, we first you're bad, then you're good and you lose, then you're gonna be good and you win kind of thing. I think that's the arc that we're seeing from the Spurs, and I do agree with Chu that the league is in trouble. And once they get some licks, and oh, we haven't mentioned this once yet. Okay, I for one am a huge fan of this Area 51 moniker that they're embracing with Wemby and Castle. I love that. I love that. I think it's dope. You know.
They
What do
spent
you
a
guys
lot of time together in the off season reviewing film and just hanging out and talking ball and going over defensive schemes. They're both defended-minded players, and they
Yes.
want to be the anchor of the defense.
Yes.
Um, it's
Tell
a
me,
great nickname.
who do you think what is Castle's peak? Like, is it Iguodala? That's kind of like the comp that I keep hearing, but who do you compare him to? You watch him the most?
I have one. I have one. Go, but go. Let's see.
Go for it.
Yeah. I think he honestly reminds me of like a Drew Holiday kind of player, like a really
Right.
defensive point guard kind of player, a big guard who's a bully guard who can manage the team, is a good leader on the floor, plays defense, can score, and there's still a long way to go, obviously, for his ceiling. He's definitely all-star caliber, I would say, in his career. All NBA, maybe. I think that's not unrealistic, you know. Um, but that's kind of like after watching him this season so far, it kind of reminds me of like a Jrue Holiday type.
That's a good
First
one.
team all defense, no question.
First team, all defense, no question. Yeah, not all NBA,
Well,
but
that is Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday at his peak was
yeah,
a menace.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? What else? What other kind of comps are there for Steph Castle?
I always just think Iggy.
Hey,
Those are two good
hey,
ones.
Jay, you got any ideas? What do you think about this cat? What do you think about Castle? Like his game?
I think I think he jumps out of the building. I think he's
Yeah,
strong. I think he needs more experience. I think
definitely.
he gets caught in a lot of pick and rolls and kind of loses his man a little bit.
Oh,
But
nice insight.
yeah, but I think he'll get there. He'll get there. He'll understand how to move through defenses and stuff like that. I think he's just an incredible pick.
Yeah.
I mean, the Spurs, they're always relevant, you know?
They got
So
lucky with that, with Wemby, then Castle, then Harper with those picks. But also with Castle, he is turning the ball over a lot. I think I have my fantasy team. I know fantasy is different than real life, but turnover. He had like 10 turnovers one game, like 3 games. He had like he's like getting 6 turnovers a game. He needs to handle the rock better. But obviously, we're all very high on Castle. It's hard not to be. Um,
that comes to here. Does he have it up here? We'll see. Time will tell.
all right. So okay. Any final thoughts
Is
on
he
this before we go to the next segment?
is he going to be a Russell Westbrook?
Oh, that's a good comp too, actually. I wanted to say it. Yeah. Sil, what do you think? He reminds you of a young Russell
I'm gonna
Westbrook.
shut the
Yes.
computer.
All
Bye,
right,
guys.
bye. Okay,
Russell
I,
Westbrook,
I agree.
athletic guard,
Russell
jumps
Hey,
out of
I
the building.
agree. I agree.
Turnovers. Yeah.
I agree.
Turnovers are his biggest thing. Does he make bonehead plays? But
I agree. I don't think
I
I'm
know.
surprised I haven't heard that comp yet because that is a good one.
it's a good comp. Don't say it's
Yeah.
not. Don't say it's not, Coach Theory. Don't say it's not. It is.
I'll tell you why it's not.
Tell me why it's not.
He's a much smarter player.
See,
He
the
controls
prime.
the tempo in a completely different way.
Okay, fair point. Fair point.
Okay.
Okay.
He's a cerebral player. Like, he's thinking the game.
What about athletically?
Athletically, sure, he can jump and he's a bulldog, sure.
So that
Yeah.
makes it a decent comp, not a horrible comp. Maybe it's not a 1-for-1. You
I
know,
mean, you know me. I'm really in the mental side of the game, and I can read the floor.
stats matter
Fans,
when you think it does, and then when it doesn't, when stats don't matter, that's when you say it doesn't.
I'm not talking about
It's a
stats.
great cerebral,
I'm not talking about stats.
fans, leave your comments
Yeah.
leave your comments. Let us
Stats
know
Look,
are
what you
look,
think.
feelings. Stats
you
are
have a
feelings.
player that won MVP. I don't think Steph Castle is ever going to win MVP. That scored 25. He averaged a triple double. Steph Castle will never average a triple double. Okay,
Well, yeah,
so that's if I'm comparing stats. I'm not talking about stats. I don't care about that.
sure.
You
I'll give
know,
you that. I'll give you.
game wise,
I'm
I
just
think
pulling
they're
your chain
different
a little
players.
bit. We gotta do it for the pod. We gotta
Of
get something.
course, of
Yeah.
course. It's just
Leave your comments.
Leave it in the
I
comments,
find the
everybody. All right,
comparison
guys, we're cooking. We gotta keep moving.
humorous.
We gotta keep moving. We gotta keep moving.
Yeah,
Let's
Boys.
do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Hey, pop quiz. Anyone remember the next segment that we had set up? Anyone remember what the next segment
yeah.
was supposed to be?
Denver, Jokic.
Denver. Ooh,
Uh,
close. Joke, not quite
oh,
there yet. Okay, we got to keep moving, guys. It's been
close.
30 minutes. We're actually here. OKC dominance slash
Ah,
Clippers curse. So OKC looks so impressive, guys. Right? They're running people out of the building. Shea has had like 6 games this year where he scored 30 points and sat the fourth quarter. Again, they look better than they did last year, and they still don't have their full squad. They haven't been healthy so far this season. OKC looks so good. It's really scary. It looks like, we were talking about it. They're at top of the hill. Are they going to put their foot off the gas? It looks like they're putting their foot on the gas even more. Chew, I'm going to go with you. Because of the Clippers. The Clippers curse is intimately tied to this OKC success. We're going to start with you, Chew. What do you think about this OKC dominance and what it's been doing to the Clippers ever since? Let's go.
So, um, I think that when teams play the Clippers, they need to start tanking so that the Thunder don't get the Clippers pick. I think we really need to be worried about this.
it's great for the NBA.
I saw that. I saw that.
Like, like, could you imagine? Could you imagine if they get like the second or third pick in the draft, or the first pick in the draft because of the Clippers? If the Clippers curse continues, they're gonna get the first pick. They're gonna pick a Boozer's son or something, and then it's over. It's
Okay, so
over.
remind
We're
everyone
never gonna.
again.
It's gonna.
Why is it? I know why. Why is it related to the Clippers? Why? Why?
Okay, okay. So actually, this goes back to the win-win trades, right? When the famous Kawhi or Paul George trade, where we gave up everything at the time, everyone loved that trade. Okay, whereas at the time for the Luka trade, everyone hated it. Obviously, in retrospect, it's turning out to be terrible. Um, the Jalen Williams, the second best player on the Thunder, was drafted by that was the Clippers draft pick, and everyone knows Shea was drafted by the Clippers. And this year, we're giving them an unprotected first round pick.
Damn.
So yeah, in hindsight, the Kawhi trade was it's so tough because when Shea was on the Clippers, I was like, this guy's amazing. He reminded me of Sean Livingston, and I told you the story before. But now just
Yeah.
watching him just destroy people is so bittersweet because this guy was made to be a Clipper lifer, and now he's just gonna. They're on pace to win 75 games,
Yeah.
and they're not even
Yeah.
healthy.
What is their standings right now?
Oh, can I interject with on pace to win 75?
They're
Real
12
quick.
and 1. They're 12 and 1.
Yeah, so let me that's great. That looks fine.
Point differential is
Let's look
15
at who they
points.
let's look at who they played. They
Okay,
barely
let me see that. Let
they
me
barely I'm gonna tell you right now. They barely beat Houston in overtime. Okay? That's Houston's first game.
game 1, game 1. But they didn't
They
have game
barely
1.
beat them in double overtime. Then they Indiana double overtime.
Okay.
Then the rest of the team, they've played Dallas, horrible, Sacramento, horrible, Washington, horrible, New Orleans, horrible, Clippers, horrible, Portland, they lost to,
Okay.
Sacramento, horrible, Memphis, horrible, Golden State without Steph, and then Los Angeles. So before going, 12 and 1, take a minute to look
Okay.
at what's going on.
Okay. Okay. I like it. You know what? It's a good point for all you guys looking out there. Yeah. That's not a but you can only play the teams in front of you, right? You got to handle it.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is before we go 75 and 9, blah blah blah, let's at least give them
That
some
doesn't
sort of
equal 82.
competition because the only competition they've had that I see on this, sure, the Lakers, I guess. Houston Rockets, which was a team that's just gelling, that they took 2 overtimes to beat, that I think is going to be the better team at the end of the season.
Okay. Okay.
Portland, who they lost to. Those are the only 2 competitive teams. Portland, they lost to.
What's Portland's record?
Portland.
New Orleans is,
They were
by
up.
the way,
They were up by 20 in
New
that game.
Orleans,
Also,
New Orleans just fired Danny Green today,
As they should have.
Not Danny Green.
Willie
or
Green,
not Danny Green.
Clipper Green,
What's his name?
Willie Green.
Willie Green. Willie Green.
Hey, the Blazers are kind of six. They're 6-6, so they are competitive. You know,
Who
they
have
That's
they
the
played?
only team, and OKC lost to them.
Who have they played?
who have the Blazers played?
Yeah.
The Blazers, they lost to the Timberwolves, they beat the Warriors, they lost to the Clippers, they beat the Lakers, they beat the Jazz, they beat the Nuggets, which was a nice
Yep.
win. I remember that was a nice W.
Yeah.
But then they
Maybe.
dropped L's to the Heat and the Magic. So I mean, it's still early. We're still trying to see these
These
teams.
are a very young team. They're overperforming, or not. I shouldn't say overperforming, but the fact that they're 6-6 shows a lot. They have a bright future. I wish
Jay,
my
what do
brother
you think?
talked
Are you
more.
going to agree with Chu that the OKC is, like kind of putting their foot on the gas and they're just dominating, or are you going to go with Silver? They're not all, they're not quite there yet.
I'm somewhere
Oh,
in the
I'm
middle.
not saying OKC isn't quite there. I'm just saying let's cool it before we say 75-9, because they've
What-
literally played the
Why
bottom of the league.
75 plus 9 is 84.
Or sorry.
He said,
You know what I mean.
there's 82
75 and
games,
7.
huh?
Yeah.
They have to get to 74. What was the Warriors thing? What did the Warriors
73.
9
They got
losses.
73.
73?
So I'm somewhere in the middle. I think OKC is beating all the teams that they need to beat, showing that they do have dominance. And the way that they're beating those teams, SGA isn't even playing in the fourth quarter. So that tells you everything you need to know. They're just handling all the teams that they need to. And we'll see what happens when they play the big teams. But they've already proved it. They have that championship pedigree. They know, like, okay, we want it. This is what it takes. We can cruise here. We can not cruise here. But I mean, shout out to Draymond Green again. I mean, he said it in his podcast, they're a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
That team knows
Well-coached.
exactly.
They're fantastic. They're
Role
the defending
players.
champs for a reason.
They
I was
move the
watching-
ball, they play defense. The who's the other Kason Williams? That guy coming off the
Wallace.
bench.
Jason
Hong
Wallace.
Kong
Wallace.
mattress. Shout out to Josh Lloyd. Okay.
That
Can you
guy.
Yeah.
Can you guys guess the next 4 teams they play?
No. Well, you can tell
No.
us.
Charlotte, New Orleans, Sacramento, and Utah.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
probably two.
that just means they're gonna have a tough back half of the schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that,
We'll
that,
see.
that they were playing the Lakers? They were destroying the Lakers. Jalen Williams off the, he's doing like a no look bounce pass, like in the paint, like look away and then for a slam dunk. It was the hardest game for all, it was, as a Laker fan, I was watching that game. I was like, hey, you know what? Like the Lakers have been playing well, but this is a reminder of like, this is the bar, and the Lakers are
There's
not there
level.
yet.
There's a level.
There's levels to this, and basketball is great, and I love it. Okay, anything
So
else?
let's revisit, because for me the main competition to OKC is Houston. Let's see what Houston has done over the last. They started 0-4 or something like that, or
Houston?
Houston's record.
Let's look. I'm looking now.
Now
Houston,
they're
8-3. They've picked it up. They lost a couple games. They've really picked it up.
so they dropped their first few games, then they've been just demolishing teams now.
Yeah. No, I mean,
They don't even have Van Fleet. If Van Fleet were in there, this team
Van
would be
Fleet.
by far for me favorites over OKC.
well, were they your? Let me just remind everybody for our picks here that I was me who chose that the Rockets were going to be the Western Conference champion.
It was both of us. Yeah.
It was I. Yes, but you changed it. I remember you changed this afterwards.
Yeah, but how many times during the offseason
I know.
did I say Rockets are going to be the team?
did,
And then
you
I was
did.
like, oh shit, when we were making our
Yeah.
picks, I forgot.
I think the Rockets were going to be there. I mean, hey, Chu, are you ready to take back your ideas on Reece Shepherd? Actually, no, we're not supposed to be talking. We're supposed to talk about. We're supposed
stay
to
on
talk
topic.
about SGA. Stay on topic, guys. Stay on topic, guys. Don't talk about the Rockets. So, Coach Theory, it was your fault for taking me off the
Sorry
topic.
about that.
Yeah, it's okay.
I just
All right,
feel
are we-
that they are the competition.
Okay. Yes, I agree. So we got SGA there. So we're good. So let's see who's gonna knock the champions off their throne here.
One last thing about SGA. If he gets one more Finals MVP and a championship, he's looking it's like
Okay.
he's circling top 15 of all time. So
If they
that's
get
kind of what we're looking at.
we're
Still three.
we
below
got we
Kobe.
need some more chips, right? On the chips metric, on the championship metric, as for legendary greats, yeah, like we need to see a W. So here's a big question: who gets their second chip first? SGA or Jokic? Speaking of Jokic, this is going to be our next
Yes.
segment. Jokic is going on a historic run. Okay,
Yeah.
another yet another historic run. Let's look at
Yeah.
these numbers, right? Over this 6 game stretch, Jokic is averaging around 30, around what? 38 points a game, 35.8 points a game, 12 rebounds per game, 11 assists per game, while shooting 74% from the field, 74%, and also 55 from three. First player in NBA history to average a 35-point triple-double while shooting 60% or less across a 6 game span. Okay.
Draft class.
Right. He's something else. Chu, we're gonna go to you as the resident Rocky Mountain supporter here. Where are we at with Jokic?
That is a
Yeah,
cute book.
this is the most dominant offense. This is the best offensive stretch I've ever seen. This is a three-time MVP getting better. The team is also crushing everyone else. They haven't lost in that 6 game stretch. So the Clipper game is a great little experiment because you have two centers. You have Zubats and Brook Lopez both have spent time on all defensive teams in their careers, and the Clippers they're like um, we're gonna try to play Jokic one on one because we've got these two really good defensive centers, and he torched them for 55, 18
Yeah,
of
right,
23.
right,
Oh my God, dude! Like
right.
he has the best touch I've ever
Which
seen. He's the best touch I've ever seen, and he's actually not even shooting that many free throws a game, and his time of touch on possession of the ball is not even in like the top 20. So he's manipulating the game without even touching the ball. Um, One of the best players I've ever seen in my life, and certainly the best 6 game stretch I've ever seen.
okay.
Are you taking Joker over Luca?
Are you kidding?
Is that sounds like a yes to me? Right, right. Right now,
Yeah, dude.
yeah. I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
it's. I would love to see them
Are
on
you? Are
the
you?
come to LA. I don't know if I would probably take. I mean, I would take probably right now. I mean, as a Laker fan,
Taking
I
Luca.
have to say Luca, but I'm not gonna
Wait,
fault you.
I,
Jay,
I think I think Luca's a
no,
better
you guys can't
passer.
be
I think
serious.
Luca's a better passer over Jokic.
No.
wow.
I think Luca has eyes in the back of his head. I think Joker collapses the defense in the center and is able to dish it a little bit better. But I think some of the passes I've seen Luca make in person, he's right up there with Magic in terms of the ability to pass. And I think Luca's shot is obviously a lot more high level because Joker's taking more shots by the basket. So it's a little bit, I would say, I don't want to say easier, but like it's just a different shot, right? Like Luca has to have the finesse and the range and the accuracy to be able to drill those threes and the jumpers and the floaters and taking contact and while Joker's just he's kind of in the lane and he's putting like small jump hooks up, soft touches. I mean, don't get me wrong, Joker obviously he's one of the best players the league has ever seen.
Right.
But I mean the championships of Joker speaks over Luca still got to win one.
Yep.
So
Luca's got to win one for sure.
I really hope the Lakers and the Nuggets play in the playoffs. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah,
well,
yeah.
yeah, well, the Nuggets team is built better than the Lakers, obviously. So if Luca can carry the Lakers over the Nuggets, I think from there on out we'll be having a different conversation about Joker.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, Joker right now, what he's doing is, I mean, it's really you're watching it. You're watching the greatness. I really, any most metrics, and honestly, like coach theory here. I know that you often say this, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but that you say that Joker doesn't play defense, and stuff like that. I've been focusing a lot on watching him on the defensive side of the ball, and I don't know if I think he doesn't play defense. I think he plays kind of smart defense. I think he puts his body in the right places defensively to get those rebounds.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I
Yeah.
don't think he's as I don't I'm not trying to say you said he's a bad defender or he doesn't I think he's actually a decent defender in a way that like maybe it doesn't look like he's doing. I don't know. I think he's
No, as Chu said, as Chu even pointed out, he's top 10 in steals this season, right?
yes.
Sure. So he
puts
can
his
read,
hands in
he
the
can
right
read and
spot.
pick up a steal. The effort that he puts in is on one side of the floor. That's what I'm getting at,
Fair.
right? And we can say, oh yeah, he's super efficient with his energy. For sure, fine. I want someone that plays 100% on both sides of the floor. I want a two-way player.
What?
Okay. Also, real quick on the 6 game stretch, demolishing teams, etc. Let's go through
Yes.
who they played, just like we did with OKC.
I'm
They
here.
played the Clippers. They played the Kings. They
Kings.
played the Pacers. They played the Warriors without Steph. The Heat was an impressive win, but I don't think they had Powell. Maybe they did. Then the Kings again, and then they lost to the Trailblazers. So competition for me just isn't there. 6 games, short span.
Okay, well
He
they're
has
playing the
amazing
Timberwolves.
stats.
They're playing the Timberwolves today.
Okay,
No,
good.
The
I'm gonna
Timberwolves
watch it.
and they lost 2 starters, so tonight's going to be a great game because you're
Yeah,
going to see your
Braun. Hey,
So
so kind of so Braun is out. So let's see who.
let me also say
Yeah.
that stat wise, this looks incredible.
Yes.
When I turn on the game,
Yes, it
I
does.
lose interest real fast.
I don't. I mean, I
I
think you're the only
can't
one here
believe
who
this is
loses
not your
interest in
favorite
watching
player,
Jokic.
dude.
I
I cannot believe this is not your favorite player, dude. This guy he's manipulating the game without touching the ball.
So what
I
do
That's
you
been
what do you
frustrating.
mean when you say that, Chu? What do you
he's
mean
so
when you
fun to
say he's?
watch.
So
I
so
think I disagree.
so just one more thing that we need to keep reiterating. We confirmed it this past week. Of the top 100 players on Bleacher Report's top 100 players in the history of the NBA, he is the only one to never play with an All-Star teammate or All-NBA teammate. Not even one. I heard this on a Denver podcast. He hasn't even had a teammate that has received one vote to be on an All-NBA team.
Okay, does that make
Not
him
one
better?
vote. Jamal Murray or Aaron Gordon has never received one vote
Does that
to be
make
on an
him any
All-NBA
better?
team. Get this man some help.
Okay, so now okay, because
We're not gonna go into that. We're
earlier
not going back to that. We're not going back to that.
early in the offseason, you saying now he has help. So I pray for you, David. I pray for you that Denver wins the chip. I really does
Hey, well,
because the
look.
excuses that I've heard for Jokic not winning just go on and on and on and on.
I know we're gonna move on to the next segment, but just before we get too before we peak too much here, right? As of right now, if the NBA playoffs started today, you would have the Nuggets and the Rockets playing in the second round, assuming they both win. So then they have to fight each other to have the right to play OKC. So this is gonna be a big deal. Obviously, obviously it's still early. We'll see what the other teams are gonna make a push. If any injuries, people will fall off, but that's gonna be a huge thing. Who's gonna have to beat both of them versus one of them? I completely agree. And that goes into the whole in the run. Anyway, what Jokic is doing is great. All right.
Statistically amazing.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going. We have a couple more segments for you guys today. Hope you guys do not good out there. What's
Plug
wait?
in a sponsor?
Yeah. What we're plugging in a sponsor today. We have several sponsors as always, but today the sponsor is who's our sponsor? Let's see here. I don't know. Anyone got a sponsor for us today? This is a horrible place to put a plug. Let's go. Jay.
I'll always shout out to today's sponsor that keeps me going every day, every morning. Don't have to drink coffee. Spearmint Zins 6 mg.
Zins.
Thank you
Nice.
thank you for the nicotine bump every morning. It
There
really
you
helps
go.
me get going. Shout out to
Okay.
Zins.
Yeah, right. So if you're watching,
Plug in the disclaimer about nicotine.
yes, this is the responsibly. Please please do it responsibly.
Please chew gum responsibly.
So, okay, so before we're gonna I just wanted to give a quick shout out here. I won't stay too long on this. All right. The Detroit Pistons hot streak. Are they for real? Okay, the Detroit Pistons have won, I believe, 9 games in a row. Okay? They sit atop. They sit on top of the Eastern Conference. Cade Cunningham looks like I don't even know what he looks like. He looks like this really amazing two-way player. He's rising to the occasion. He's playing defense. He's scoring. He's shooting. He's assisting. He's being efficient. He's dominating. Jalen Duren, he's averaging 28 and 10 assists per game. Jalen Duren has made massive strides this year. We all knew he could rebound the ball. We all knew he could play. He was athletic, but he's playing better defense. He's hitting his free throws and he's scoring. Jalen Duren is really kind of stepping into his own. Okay, this team, Asar Thompson, who is playing a nice role over there. Tobias Harris has been playing. They got Duncan Robinson hitting shots for them, and then all these little guys coming out of nowhere: Jenkins, Levert, Holland, even Javonte Green. Who's been jumping around the league. This team has a certain identity, and I think well, the coach, I forget what's the coach's name of the Pistons coach name. Ooh, why am I forgetting? Someone help me.
It is.
Help
Oof.
me out. I'm blanking on the name here.
Is it he coached the Cavs? Is that guy
Is
right
it,
or
is it
no?
Bickerstaff?
Baker
JB
staff.
It
Bickerstaff,
is Bickerstaff. Oh, I got it. Okay, thank God. Okay.
former player.
He called them a nasty team with mutts and stuff like that. I think it's a rah-rah thing. Paul Reed was saying so. Who's to say that this team is gonna be here at the end, but they're definitely have come out of nowhere, I think, to do what it is that maybe we thought the Magic were gonna do. Let's see their schedule. So, Coach Theory, you're saying, okay, well, what's this
Well,
schedule?
they beat. What was impressive is they beat the Sixers twice,
They beat the
and the
Sixers
second
twice.
time was their last game. They beat them without Cunningham.
Yeah, and they beat the Rockets early in the season, but still,
They beat the
they
Rockets.
they beat
No,
the
they had some good
Bulls.
wins. The East is wide open.
You
They're
know,
picking up the wins they need to. I think they beat the Bulls as well.
yeah.
So they're getting some good wins. They're a young team, but the fact that they could win without Cunningham against a good team in the East, that definitely shows a lot.
What do you guys think about the Pistons? I saw it was like the first time they've won this many games since like 2007. That was for sure during the Chauncey, Rip Hamilton, Rasheed Wallace era, correct? Must have been.
Yes.
Yeah, nine straight. I don't know. What do you
Yeah,
guys think about? What do you guys think
I
about?
think
Yeah, Jay.
I think the Pistons, okay, what does it take to win? Go to their roster.
Yeah, let's take a look here.
That roster has been together now for like 3-4 years now, so they're getting the experience of
So
playing side by side, and
you have
they,
Cade
they have a
Cunningham.
team identity.
Yeah,
That's important.
you got Cade.
Cade Cunningham, MVP. He's playing at an MVP level.
Definitely playing at he's in the conversation probably, at this point.
Got Tobias Harris at a stretch four. You have Duncan Robinson, your three-point threat. You have Astor Thompson guarding the other team's best player.
Yep.
And then you have Jalen Duren protecting the rim.
And look
Okay.
at
And
that,
then
12 rebounds a game. He's averaging 20 and 12. These are some serious numbers.
you
One
got Isaiah Stewart coming in and
Seth.
playing the big body, playing the Draymond type role.
Mhm.
Okay. And then Javonte Green coming in and giving him solid minutes off the bench. So, I mean, they have the tools to put it all together. They don't have the experience yet, but I think they're going to get that through the season. And then we'll see how far it takes them in the postseason. But like you said, like everyone's saying, the East is wide open.
They're
There's no
definitely
reason why.
going to be they're definitely going to be a tough out, especially if Cade still plays at this level. I definitely think so.
I want to see them play the Knicks
Let's see.
with everyone healthy. But OG just went down.
Yeah,
Jalen just
Brunson's
went
out.
down.
Right.
So
Has Jaden Ivey not played at all this year?
And
Because
Jaden
he's like
Ivey, yeah,
their
good.
wild card.
yeah,
He's resuming on-court workouts, but he is yet to do full contact. Yeah, if he starts cooking, I mean, Jaden Ivey, talk about a player who had a lot of hype coming out of, I believe, Purdue. He's been injured. He's an explosive player. If he comes back and finds a nice niche on this team, like I think they're gonna be there. They're gonna be there down the stretch for this team. Yeah, Jaden Ivey would be good. That would be a cute, really good addition for them. But I wanted to give them a little bit of a shout out because um, they definitely, are turning some heads right now. Okay. Anything else?
Jay, you're making a pretty bold statement on having them in MVP conversation. Who are your guys' top five? Because my top five for MVP.
Not a segment we're doing, but okay, little bonus segment. Go. Okay.
he's playing at an MVP level.
Okay. Yeah, I
Is he
agree.
in your top? Would you put him in your top five for MVP this year?
If your team is first place in the East at the end of the season, you have to be a top five MVP.
Yeah.
Probably,
Okay.
right?
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. If they're, I mean, obviously, if they're at the end of the season, I mean, obviously, there's a long way to go. But hey,
MVPs,
yeah,
I'll go MVP top five. Luka, the Dawn,
there you go.
Joker,
Yep.
Giannis,
Mm-hmm.
SGA.
It's gotta be those four so far.
So you have Cade above Wemby? Because if we have Wemby in there,
I think
that
they're
top
tied.
five.
I
I
would
think
say
they're
Cade
tied.
above Wemby right now. I would say Cade above
Yes,
Wemby right
I
now.
would say Cade above Wemby right now.
today.
I have Wemby above Cade, but what's interesting is that top 5 are all foreign-born players.
Yeah. Who's missing from there? Şengün I think Şengün is playing is the
It's gonna
guy.
be hard.
So
It's gonna be hard.
another
Well,
non-US player.
It's gonna be hard to get him an
Sylvan,
MVP when he's got KD.
Sylvan, would you say that the league has more talent now than ever because of all these international players?
Uh, would the league have more talent now because of all the international players?
Well, there's more of a wider range to choose from. You're picking up
I mean, they
millions of
could
people.
always
Like,
choose from them before. It's not like they're the first international players.
All right, we're getting a little bit sidetracked here.
But the reason I bring up the top 5 MVP and the fact that they're all foreign-born players is because in the All-Star game we're going to have a second year. We're going to have a second year of World versus USA, and if you give me a lineup of Jokic, Wemby, Şengün, Shea, Luka, all these names, Giannis. I'm looking
versus
at that.
Steph, Braun,
That's not bad.
Cade Cunningham.
Yeah. I don't know who. Yeah. What's going to be the all stars here? So.
oh, it's not looking good for the States, dude. We can't even name it.
Well,
Edwards.
Also,
We'll see. We'll see you in the
are the
Olympics.
Clippers because the Intuit Dome is hosting the All-Star game? Are the Clippers going to have any representation that weekend
No.
Maybe
I don't think so.
other than Shea?
Harden might sneak in. I think if there's as an
No chance.
as an alternate, they might get him in there. Anyway, Kawhi's not playing, but look, guys, this segment was on the Pistons, but it's fine. We talked about Cade Cunningham, and then that went into All Star stuff. That's fine. It's fine. Just reminding them.
I like. We should keep up on the MVP talk. I think
Okay.
the MVP it should be a weekly edition.
Okay. I agree with the top 5 that we got here. So look, we're gonna wrap up, guys. We're rounding out an hour here, but it's okay. It's okay. We have a lot of NBA hot takes here. The Great Western Podcast is giving you hot takes from around the league, as you guys know. All right,
Leave
the
a
Emirates.
comment, hit the like button.
Hit like, subscribe. Okay. The NBA Emirates Cup. Okay. I like this. I like the NBA Cup word phrase more than the IST, the in-season tournament or whatever. It's still obviously a young thing. And I think they're still trying to develop the legitimacy of it. Unlike Chu, maybe I don't want to blow your spot there, Chu, but I think it's fun to have this tournament early in the season to kind of give teams that are coming out of the gates hot an opportunity to, win some games, get some grittiness, like play some with a little bit of not full playoff intensity, but a little bit of extra vigor, in the early part of the season. I like it. I don't know if they're gonna be tweaking it and stuff like that, but I like those courts. When I turn on the basketball game and I see a blinding court, I go, oh, it's a cup game, and I go,
Can you pull up a picture of the Minnesota Timberwolves court? Because it hurts my eyes.
Minnesota Timberwolves.
And when they show like players up close during that game, you can literally see neon green reflecting off of their eyes. So I'm sure that gets in the way of the players. I think Steph Curry even commentated on it. And then my brother and I have been trying to track turnovers during
that's a great
games
thing.
versus
That's a
not.
great thing. Look at these.
Yeah.
Look at these courts, dude. Like
that's just I can't do those, man. I cannot do those.
I love it.
This is a gimmick.
What does the audience think of these courts?
Yeah,
I think right now the NBA Cup. Sorry, Chu. I just got a quick comment.
Good.
I think that the games leading up to the actual tournament can get a little bit like, okay, what's going on? But I think once we get into the tournament and they go to Vegas and they play the games in the tournament, I think it does bring like a heightened level of interest.
Yes.
And as an ode to the Europeans, like. Yeah, they all have cups. They all have tournaments, in-season tournaments, and I think that's kind of like makes it like more of a global league. That's my take.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So the last take I have on the cup is for me, anything that's going to incentivize competition, I like it. What I do like is that because there's so few games played to qualify.
I agree.
Well, hold on. I haven't even finished my statement.
There's too many. You said, well, that's too little games to qualify. But go on.
Well, so the reason why that's okay is because they also measure standings based on point differential. And so what you see is at the end of the game, when the game is kind of like we already know who's going to win and lose, it's not like they're just burning clock, etc. They're actually trying to score and trying to increase that or decrease that point differential.
Yeah.
You know how
Yeah,
I
That's
would,
nice to see.
improve?
On the betting end, what you see is that the favored team covers most of the time, whereas during regular season games they don't always cover because at the end of the game they're up 7, they're going to give up a concession basket, right? So then the favored team doesn't always cover. During the I think last cup game they were 8-1, the favored team to cover the spread. So that was yesterday, Friday.
It's an interesting point. It's an interesting point. Like the betting having to do with like the way they play and the statistics on that. I think that's a really cool metric. I think that you and Dr. Peltzer are developing there. What was it
We'll
again?
have him on the next pod and he'll dive
So what
deeper
is it?
into
It's
it.
turnovers on the court or like okay.
We're just looking at if field goal percentage goes down on a court that's like the Minnesota Timberwolves court, or if there's certain if there's more turnovers, because you're not used to a bright shiny court in your face. Those are numbers we're still crunching. I think just off raw data, we see an increase of 2 turnovers overall per game in the cup games. Which isn't that significant, but also you have to eliminate some courts that aren't as bothersome when looking at, the Spurs court or another court that's kind of neutral. We want to look at the difference between those courts and the courts that literally have like neon reflecting into your eyes.
All right.
Chu, what do you say?
I would. I think it's just kind of gimmicky, but the way I would improve it, imagine if the winner of the cup gets home court advantage in every playoff series that they're in.
Everyone?
That would make
Dang.
Yeah,
Every
kind of
playoff series,
teams
okay.
really go for it in the tournament. That's how you
that
want
kind
to
of
improve
like
competition.
baseball.
You got to incentivize with something. Give them home court advantage. Okay, or maybe give them home court advantage in the finals if they get there.
If
Yeah,
they
that's like
if they
baseball.
win, if you win the cup and you make it to the finals, you get home court regardless of NBA record. That would make
Yeah,
it wild. Yeah.
something fun.
Does anyone know how they choose the groups? Does anyone know how they choose the groups? Anyone did
I
recently?
don't know, but they're calling it the group of death with Denver, Pistons, Warriors, Spurs, and
Right,
who else?
Rockets.
And OKC and Rockets.
That is the group of death for sure.
That is definitely a tougher group to win in compared to, the other groups they
Look at our
have.
Lakers. Clippers, Grizzlies, Mavericks, Pelicans. Hell yeah. Lakers are going to Vegas, baby.
Let's
Look
all
at
take
that.
a
See
trip
about
to
that.
Vegas.
I'm down. It would be fun. But yeah, I think there's still some things. How many games do they play? Anyone know? We're all learning here. How many games are there? 4, 5? How
So
many?
you play everyone in your group,
Yeah, so
and
5 at
then
least.
4 games.
there's
Yeah.
Tournament.
a semifinals and a finals.
Yeah, so I think there's I agree. I think there still needs to be some movement, but I'm into it. So
Yeah.
so yeah. So we're not gonna this one dopamine dump for today. We're gonna wrap it up, boys. Okay, that's gonna be it for us today. Um, I think that big shout out to our subscribers. We got about 100 now with 21 videos. Boom. Okay, Great Western Podcast. Any final closing burning remarks, boys? Chu, Jay. Coach Theory, anything kind of any ideas for the coming week or what's coming up today or for the week in the NBA? Yeah, true.
Yeah, I'll start. I just found it interesting that Sylvain's point about the international, the best players being international, and it is interesting that players like Kobe didn't have to play those types of talents, and they really had an easier league back in the day.
Do not,
Right.
Yeah, you gotta use your platform.
don't not
Didn't
give don't not give Dirk Nowitzki and Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker and
Come on,
all
dude.
the
What are you talking
incredible
about? Yeah, Ginobili and Parker were like the premier international players that Kobe played against.
Andre
I just think
Kirilenko.
the level, the talent level this year, this in this league is just crazy right now.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
have 7 billion people to choose from versus 600 million.
So they
Right.
had that many to choose from back then, but the teams and the players internationally just weren't as good.
Well,
U.S. was
honestly,
by far dominant.
Kobe and MJ and those people were the reason that the game got so big in the first place. So it's like,
Thank
Exactly.
you.
it's
Thank you.
owed to them.
MJ and Kobe, thank you. Number 1 and 2 all time. I don't care. I don't care what
That's it.
Bleacher
Put it to
Report.
rest.
I don't care what
The rest.
Bleacher Report says, what Kareem this, Russell that. No,
Yeah.
it's Kobe number
Okay,
2.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
it, dude. I don't care. I don't care what anybody
One
says.
A and one B.
That's it. All right.
Close it out on that.
Okay. So Jay, I mean, we good? Where we
I
at?
love it.
I love
It's
it.
a great season. Yeah,
Yes.
it's been a great season so far.
Hope if you guys make it out this far with us, we love this. Leave comments, subscribe, reach out to us. What do you want us to talk about? All right, y'all. We're going to be signing off. This is the Great Western Podcast, episode 22. Later, y'all.
Peace.